Hello and welcome. Good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. I am Snehi Shah and with me as always is Ankita Saxena. This is a show where we'll be taking you through all the big buzzers in today's trading session and tell you why these stocks are in the spotlight. And mind you, a lot of these stocks are soaring away in today's trading session given the overall good health of the market that we're seeing right now. Nifty is almost at the day's highest point right now. We're, at Ankita, one point when we were anchoring just an hour ago, we were worried about Nifty slipping below the 700 mark. Look at where we are, and it's been a solid recovery from the day's lowest point as well.
Absolutely. In fact, what a day. I mean, bulls are completely in charge of today's trading session. We were hoping that the trade doesn't get reversed in the second half, but the recovery is back, and we are back above the 22,750 levels on the Nifty. We are right now comfortably on 22,773. Trading with gains of 1% on the Nifty. Nifty Bank also ditto. It hasn't given up those gains. There has been no selling on rise. It's up almost to 1.5% in trade. Mid cap also solid performance, solid recovery coming in. In fact, it's so heartening to see Nifty small cap that's trading with gains of 2%. So solid recovery on small caps. Mid caps also trading with gains of 1.5%. What a day in the markets today, and sectorally also all the sectors are trading in the green. Nifty Realty is firing away on all cylinders today. It's trading with gains of almost 2% in trade. There's Nifty Realty also, Nifty Media. Nifty Media is up 3% as of now. Nifty Realty is up 2%. Auto up 2%. In fact, recovery coming in all the sectors as we can see. And as far as the market breadth is concerned also, it's barring just literally three constituents, Bajaj, Finserv, Bharti Airtel and Tech Mahindra, all Nifty constituents are in the green. So largely a very positive day shaping up today.
Looking rather good for our markets today, and we're holding on to some steady gains. On that note, let me welcome Osho Krishnan, Senior Analyst, Technical and Derivative Research, Angel One on the show. He'll be here to highlight some stocks that are looking good on the technicals right now. And from our in-house research team, we have Ravinder joining us. Good afternoon, gentlemen. And Osho, before I come to you, let me talk about a stock that's doing pretty well in today's trade, and that's Aditya Birla Real Estate. Now, the company's wholly owned subsidiary, Birla Estates Private Limited, has launched a residential unit, Birla Punya, in Pune with a revenue potential of approximately 2,700 crore rupees. Birla Punya, which is located in central Pune, marks the company's first foray into the city's residential real estate sector. It spans 5.76 acres, and the project will offer 1.6 million square feet of saleable area, featuring 1,000 exclusive flats. And Aditya Birla Real Estate has said this in a statement. The luxury residences will range between 1 and 4 BHK and will be spread across 4 design towers. The project will be developed in phases, with phase 1 consisting of 2 towers and 500 units, and phase 2 will contain the remaining. But yes, that's the news flow on Aditya Birla Real Estate. New foray into Pune, and stock is up 5% as we speak.
All right, that is Aditya Birla Real Estate soaring away in trade 5%. But coming to you, Osho, you picked that one from the pharma pack. You picked that Cipla for us. Now, this particular counter, in the last 6 odd months, all the pharma names, there has been correction in the market. But comparatively, Cipla has outperformed the pharma index. So now on the charts, what are you penciling in for this counter? Do you see an up move in the last 5 days? It has done well. It has moved up almost 4%. So from here on, do you see this counter picking up?
Very good afternoon to both of you. Well, yes, looking at the technical perspective, there has been some kind of consolidation, strong consolidation on the technical terms of Cipla. And in the last few trading session, there has been even a consolidation breakout, and it has emerged above the short-term moving averages. So overall, the technical perspective looks very attractive for Cipla, and yesterday it has given a consolidation breakout also. So I'm expecting that in the short-term period, there can be some continued momentum in the counter, and on the higher end, the immediate or the next resistance that is being seen is around the zone of 1550 to 1580 kind of a zone. So from here onwards, there is another 50 to 70 points of rally can be seen in Cipla. So one can definitely expect a decent move in the coming period. And once it surpasses the zone of 1570, then from there onwards, we can see even further movement. But for short-term perspective, 1470 is a very strong support, and 1570 is the potential target for short-term.
All right, moving on then. Moving on to the next counter, which is in focus today, and that is RITES. That is in focus. It is in fact trading with gains of almost 2%. This is on the back of the fact that they've received an order for $10.8 million for additional supply and commissioning of electric locomotive from the Nokoto Rail Holdings. And in fact, the company has received this amendment to the contract agreement, whereby Notco Rail Holdings has awarded additional work for the supply of commissioning of overhaul in service Cape Gauge Alco diesel electric locomotives fitted with new Cape Gauge Boeings and traction motors, control systems and air brakes, and overhauled at a nominated facility with the on-site warranty support for the next 1 year. On the back of this order win, RITES is in focus today. We're trading with gains of, in fact, almost 3% now as far as RITES is concerned.
RITES also not a stock that's looking good in today's trade, but keeping with the list of gainers today, Ravinder, you've picked out Varun Beverages for us. This stock is in focus on the back of a brokerage note and is doing pretty well. Tell us what the note is and what the note entails.
Well, as Varun Beverages is in focus, where Citi has come out with their note on companies and they have maintained their buy rating with target price of rupees 750. They have kept Varun Beverages on 90-day catalyst watch for companies. The Citi says that the earning growth is expected to rise due to a hot summer in India, and company will benefit from business expansion in Africa. But the concern about the competition for Reliance Campa in the beverages market led to a sell-off, and the Campa is likely to take market share more from regional brand, and that too over the medium to long term. This is the stock reaction seems overdone, and the risk reward of the company looks favorable considering the growth drivers. And also the DAM Capital has come out with the note where they have maintained their buy rating with target price of rupees 670. Remember, CLSA has also recently upgraded the stock to high conviction outperform, and out of 26 analysts that track Varun Beverages, 23 has given a buy rating and 3 others has given a hold rating. So on back of this brokerage note, stock is up over 4%.
All right, that's Varun Beverages buzzing on the back of that brokerage note coming in. But moving on then, Oshi picked out Avenue Supermarts for us now. This counter has particularly been consolidating in the last 6 months. It's only in the last 1 month that it has really started moving up. Tell us, what do you see on the charts for this particular counter?
See, overall, on a broader time chart, this counter is placed at a very strong support. So I'm not having a very aggressive targets in the short-term period, but looking at the historical support, this counter have taken very strong support of 3400 zone, and from there onwards have started gaining some strength. So I'm expecting that in the coming period, once it breaches the zone of 4000, then from here onwards we can see another 400 to 500 point of rally in this counter. So one should definitely keep this counter in their radar, and even can start accumulating at current levels from a medium to long term perspective, because the time it breaches the zone of 4000, from there we can expect a very strong reversal, and with a higher targets of nearly 4600 for the short term perspective. And even if once it breaches the zone of 4600, then it has the potential to test 49 to 5000 zone also. So at these levels, it is advisable to start accumulating this counter from medium to long term perspective.
Okay, accumulate call coming in from Osho, but on that note, we'll slip into a very short break on this edition of Market Fatafat and keep it going with all the big buzzers just on the other side when we return. Hi there, welcome back to Market Fatafat. Thanks so much for staying tuned with us to ET Now. Let's keep it going with all the big buzzers in today's trade. And while we're talking about big buzzers, we have to mention Paytm. That stock is up and away in today's trading session. That stock is holding up pretty well today. And well, the 6% gain at one point of the trading day, this stock was higher by 6.5–7%, slightly below the day's highest point, but nonetheless, very stellar gains coming in. A 6% uptick on Paytm today, because Paytm has notified through its exchange filing that it has received SEBI's approval on Paytm Money providing services as a research analyst. Therefore, now the payment services platform owned by 197 Communication will also be able to provide SEBI-compliant research services, including investment insights, research reports, and data-driven analysis. These services shall be integrated into Paytm Money app as part of a research and advisory offering. And this is what it has said in a filing, that this milestone aligns with Paytm Money's objective to expand its offerings in the investment ecosystem, enhance user experience, and provide expert-backed insights to both retail and institutional investors. On the back of this news flow, on the back of this SEBI nod for Paytm Money getting the approval to hand out research services now, the stock is up by 6% as we speak.
All right, moving on then to the next counter that is in focus today, and that is HUL. Now, HUL is trading with gains of almost 1% in trade right now, on the back of the fact that the Competition Commission of India, CCI, has granted approval to the company to acquire 90% stake in the Uprising Science Private Limited, the parent company of beauty and personal care brand Minimalist, for an amount of 2,670 crore rupees. Now, remember, we had heard the news of HUL buying stake into that, but now there has been an approval by CCI on that, and the Uprising Science is engaged in making and sale of beauty and personal care products, baby care products, as well as hair care products under the brand name Minimalist. Now, HUL will be acquiring 90% stake in the brand, and on the back of that approval, HUL is in focus today, trading with gains of 1.3%.
On the back of that, CCI not coming in for this acquisition that was made public some time ago. But other than that, Osho, you've picked out Eicher Motors for us on the charts. Now, when I pull up intraday, 5 days, 1 month, 6 month YTD, it's all been positive moves largely and single-digit gains coming in. Last 1 year, the stock is up by roughly 38 to 40%. It's been a very consistent, very steady mover, but a slow mover. So, what's your view on the charts, and do you believe that the stock could pick up some momentum now?
Yes, overall in the month of February, there has been a steep correction in this counter from the zone of nearly 5600. It has tested the 200 simple moving average. But in last 1 month, there has been a positive development. There has been a cycle of higher highs, higher lows formation in this counter, and it is expected to continue the same formation in the coming period. So in the shorter term duration, I am expecting 5300 as the immediate target or the next resistance in this counter. The time it breaches the zone of 5300, there is a possibility of retesting 5600 in the coming period. So overall, the technical structure for this counter is very positive, and all the indicators are showcasing a positive crossover. So I'm expecting that there is a good or potential time for this counter to have a decent gain with higher highs, higher lows kind of a formation. So one should maintain patience in this counter, but definitely going to have a very good return in the short term period.
All right, that's Eicher Motor on the charts. But coming to you, the stock of the day, the stock in focus, Bajaj Finserv. Rabinder, take us through the details of the news flow, and a brokerage note also come out on that. Tell us about that as well.
Well, Bajaj Finserv is in focus, where Bajaj Finserv, one of the India's largest and most diversified financial services group, has signed a share purchase agreement for acquisition of 26% stake, which is owned by Allianz in its insurance business, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company and Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Company. The execution of the share purchase agreement marked the culmination of constructive and amicable discussion to ensure a seamless transfer of the stake of Allianz, and the acquisition of Allianz stake will increase Bajaj Group ownership in Bajaj Allianz General Insurance and Life Insurance from 74% currently to 100%, and the acquisition is subjected to regulatory approvals including approvals from Competition Commission of India and the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, and the cost of the acquisition will be around 24,000 crore. And there are also some brokerage note coming in where MK has maintained their buy rating with target price of rupees 2,000, but the stock is reacting negatively and stock is down over 1.5%.
Okay, so a handful of Nifty 50 losers today, and Bajaj Finserv is one of them. 1.5% cut coming in on Bajaj Finserv. Let's move on then, and Osho, you've picked out Godrej Consumer Products for us, GCPL. This stock for the last 6 months has taken a 25% cut to its share price. Although it has been recovering, the recovery has been rather slow compared to the steep cut that we've seen over the last 6 months. What's the outlook on the chart? Do you believe the stock has some legs to the rally, some momentum picking up for the stock now?
See, overall, there has been a very decent or a steep correction, I can say, in the whole FMCG space. But at current levels, these counters are looking very lucrative, having a fair valuation even on technical and fundamental aspect. So I'm expecting, looking at the technical aspect of Godrej CP, it has given an inverted head and shoulder pattern kind of a movement. So I'm expecting that in the short term period, this counter has a potential to zoom towards the zone of 1180 to 1200 in the short term perspective, and once it breaches the zone of 1200, then we can see a continued momentum or a very strong reversal in this counter. So overall, at current levels, looking at the risk reward point of view, it is at a very lucrative zone, and one can definitely start accumulating this counter for short term target of 1200, followed by 1280 to 1300 from short to medium term perspective.
Okay, so Accumulate is the call coming in on GCPL, bullish outlook from Osho. Let's move on, talk about Ircon International. This stock is also high flying today, almost a 5% uptick on this stock. Has simmered from the day's highest point, but nonetheless holding up pretty solidly in today's trade. The company in joint venture with Badri Rai and Company, which is BRC, has been awarded an EPC contract by the Directorate of Urban Affairs, Government of Meghalaya of for 1,096 crore rupees. Now remember, out of this, Ircon's share is 26%, which roughly comes down to 285 crore rupees. So it's a big order win coming in for Ircon International and its JV as well. The contract is for construction of new Secretariat complex building, including campus infrastructure on EPC basis in New Shillong City, Meghalaya, to be completed in the next 36 months. So a massive order win coming in for Ircon International and its joint venture with BRC, and on the back of that, the stock is up 4.8% almost as we speak.
All right, that's Ircon International on the back of that news flow. But coming to you, Osho, you have picked out Indian Hotels for us. Now, Indian Hotels is up in a way 3.8% in today's trading session. In fact, this one's been a clear, outperformer even amid this market. This is one counter that has been giving consistent returns. Tell us what you see on the charts from for this one.
See, overall, this counter has been into a very strong consolidation zone in the last 4 trading weeks. It has taken support from the 200-day simple moving average and has consolidated around the same zone in the previous weeks. But in today's trading session, there has been a clear-cut consolidation breakout, which provides a very strong momentum in this counter, and I am expecting that in the short-term duration, 830, 820 is the zone where it can retest or reclaim these levels, and once it surpasses the zone of 830, then from there onwards we can see some kind of bullish momentum coming back. But for the short-term perspective, the immediate range is 745 to 830, and one should utilize any kind of profit booking in this counter to add positions, and on the higher end near about 830, 840 kind of a zone to book their profits also.
Okay, so that's the call coming in on Indian Hotels from Osho. Ravinder, you've picked out IREDA for us. Fundraising news flow coming in. The board met yesterday on the same. Tell us what's the outcome of that meeting.
Director of the IREDA in its meeting has approved the enhancement of borrowing plans for FY24 to 25 by rupees 5,000 crore through taxable bonds, subordinated tier 2 bonds, perpetual debt instrument, term loan from banks, and lines of credit from international agency. And with this, the borrowing limit for FY24 to 25 has been increased from 24,200 crore to 29,200 crore. So on back of this note, stock is up over 4%.
All right, we have completely timed out in this edition of Market Fatafat. Osho and Rabindranath, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. But on that note, it's a goodbye from Sahim, I and the entire team that has put the show together. Thank you so much for tuning in.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.